The clock is ticking on the Salvation Army's annual Red Kettle campaign. Donations are significantly down this year, but over the weekend they got some help from a kettle crusader who happens to wear a cape. It's a Christmas tradition, but this year that tradition isn't doing as well.
We've seen a decrease of traffic in stores.
The Brooklyn Park Salvation Army says it's down $25,000 this year. And they say the cold weather keeping folks inside might have something to do with it. But this weekend, bell ringers at Brooklyn Park's Hy-Vee got help from a unique source.
I know they were behind and there was an opening.
It's not often you see the defender of Gotham wearing red, but Batman says he'll do what he can for a good cause.
I believe in the Salvation Army, I believe in the work that the Salvation Army does. All the different programs that they run with the youth in the area and then those families that are in need.
It's not just the weather. Salvation Army officials suspect more online shopping means fewer people walking past the kettles. And those who do might not carry cash anymore. That's why they're turning to more than superhero friends to make up for the cash shortfall.
We're actually putting out kettles at sports events. We're doing Google and Apple Pay to make it convenient for people.
But sometimes it's just about getting noticed. And who better for that than the world's greatest detective?
People love it, from the smallest to the oldest.
Batman says fans of all ages stop by to chat.
We've had 89-year-olds coming through here wanting to take a picture.
And that gets them close to the kettle where they're more likely to donate. To sweeten the deal, Batman was matching donations up to $500 Saturday. And an anonymous donor is doing the same through Christmas Eve, up to $1 million. That has Salvation Army officials optimistic about the future.
We are confident that in the last couple of days that we will be able to make some of that up.
And delighted about today.
I get to hang out with Batman on a beautiful day.
The Salvation Army won't have any solid numbers on how much they've taken in until after Christmas. But Captain Palenko says when Batman left, the kettle was full. A fight at a Brooklyn Center gas station sparked a lot of attention over the weekend. The fight was caught on camera Friday evening and it spread on social media. The video shows two women throwing items, shouting profanity, and knocking several shelves down inside the Speedway gas station, which is off of 57th and Logan Avenues. Brooklyn Center police say the two suspects were targeting a female employee at Speedway. The victim did sustain minor injuries but did not have to go to the hospital. Police believe the suspects and the victim knew of each other, and they are working with the store manager on the damage amount. Officers say this is an active investigation and no one has been arrested just yet. Anyone passing by Park Center High School today might have noticed a change in the skyline. The big bubble is up. The new Brooklyn Park Sports Dome has been inflated and will be ready for action after the beginning of the year. The multi-use dome is located just south of Pride Stadium. It's 230 feet wide and 400 feet long. There will be baseball, softball, soccer, lacrosse, cricket, and other sports played inside the facility. There will also be open dome nights when people can pay a few dollars and come in and exercise. The cost of the dome is $7.7 million, and the cost will be shared by Osseo area schools and the city of Brooklyn Park. Meanwhile, construction continues at the New Hope Pool, and the city is still preparing for a summer opening date. The construction project has had a few delays due to the weather. At a December work session, the council talked about increased construction during winter months, but chose not to do so because it would ultimately increase the cost. The 50-meter pool should be open in June, but opening the rest of the pool will wait until July. An aging sanitary sewer line that runs through Brooklyn Park will undergo some much-needed repairs in the coming months. In the spring of 2020, the Metropolitan Council plans to replace a sanitary sewer line that runs down Riverview Lane and Mississippi Lane in Brooklyn Park. The line was constructed in the late 1960s and is now showing signs of deterioration along with the presence of hydrogen sulfide. During the excavation and sewer replacement process, some residents will have their mailboxes relocated, along with occasional disruptions to their water and wastewater service.
That will be fairly infrequently. We'll work with the city on that, and we'll also work with the residents in the area to let them know when this is happening.
Work on the project will begin in February or March, and it will take between 12 and 18 months to complete. The overall cost is about $19 million, and we have more information on this project on our website, ccxmedia.org. A Brooklyn Park charter school is excited about what lies ahead after striking a deal with the city to lease a nearby park.
2, 3. Merry Christmas and thank you, Brooklyn Park City Council.
Earlier this month, Excell Academy for Higher Learning received approval from the city of Brooklyn Park to lease nearby Fair Oaks Park at a rate of $1 a year for the next 40 years. The agreement allows Excell Academy to build more classrooms, expand its parking lot, and add playground equipment to the adjacent park. The school initially wanted to purchase the land, but the plan did not have the full support of the council. So school leaders are happy they were able to reach a compromise.
A little disappointed at first because you always want to own. However, I think the compromise was really good. We get a lease for 40 years and up to 3 5-year extensions. So 55 years for $1 a year. You can't beat that.
Excell Academy saved $500,000 by leasing the land from the city. The school plans to use the money to add lockers for middle school students. In the final few days before Christmas, you don't have to drive far to see beautiful holiday lights. Here's what the display at Grace Fellowship Church in Brooklyn Park looks like. This is right off Highway 169 and just north of Highway 610 on the northern edge of the city. Enjoy, everybody.
We've had some really strong girls basketball teams over the years in the northwest suburbs. Players and coaches from one of the best gathered for a reunion. The Osseo 2000 Class 4A championship team was honored at halftime of Friday's Osseo Park Center girls game. It's 20 years since the team won Osseo's second championship in girls basketball, beating Eastview in the title game. The players say it was a great feeling to be back together.
It's really great to be back. Definitely feels different since it's not the same gym. That's probably the biggest change. We used to be in that dungeon is what everybody called it, which kind of had its own thrill in itself. Doug, the new head coach, has done a really nice job bringing back old teams and making us feel like family and kind of keeping the tradition alive, so pretty fun.
Hard to believe it has been 20 years since we were here, and it is a really special time for us to have this reunion and reminisce about a very special team, a special coach, and a special community.
In boys basketball, Armstrong is off to a solid start this season. The Falcons looked for their 5th win as they hosted Andover. Armstrong sophomore Peyton Newbern gets the steal and finishes at the other end. The Falcons go up 18-9. Jack Sharon with a nice pass to Jake Awney for a Huskies basket as they try to rally. But Newbern sinks a long three-pointer, putting Armstrong up 26-15. He scores 13 points on the night. Adam Bewin sends the pass in to Jake Breitbach. He scores underneath. Falcons are up 30-20 at halftime. Hezekiah Ayawe drives baseline early in the second half. He drops in the reverse layup for Armstrong. Falcons hit back-to-back threes. Bewin left open at the top of the key and connects. And then he floats a pass to Breitbach. He'll nail a shot with the defender in his face, put Armstrong up 42-26. The Falcons go on to win 65-43, and they improve to 5-1 on the season. With not a lot of returning varsity experience back, both Breck and Brooklyn Center's boys basketball teams have struggled to win games early in the season. Each team with new head coaches, too. Tim Senshin at Breck, who was with the Mustangs in the early 2000s, while Justin Burgess takes over at Brooklyn Center. The Centaurs get off to a fast start in the game. Cash Chavish with a three-pointer to make it 8-2, part of a 10-0 scoring run for BC. Freshman Quade Douglas drives down the lane into traffic, scores and is fouled. Freshman leads the Centaurs in scoring. It's 14-4 Brooklyn Center. Andy Ott netted 10 first-half points for Breck, including this three to beat the buzzer at halftime. Mustangs trail the Centaurs 28-18 at the half. Second half, Breck's Jaron Morton with a strong drive to the basket and finish. Morton scores 9 of his 13 points after halftime. Ott starts a drive on the baseline, then dishes to Jimmy Cook, who scores and is fouled. The Mustangs get as close as 7 points. But BC never gives up the lead. Jameel Taylor misses from the corner, but fouls his shot to score 2 big points late. Brooklyn Center wins for the second time this season, 63-52 over Breck. In boys hockey, Armstrong-Cooper hoped to get into the holiday break on a good note. Hopkins and goalie Zach Hayes visiting New Hope Arena to face the Wings. Armstrong-Cooper with a 2-on-1. Jack Campion to Ben Anderson, his first try stop, but Anderson tucks the rebound in for the first goal of the game. Down 2-0, Hopkins gets one on a 5-on-3 power play. Zach Peterson has plenty of room to shoot, and he puts it away. It's 2-1 Wings after 1. Armstrong-Cooper dominates the second period. Anderson sets up Jack Campion for the deflection goal. And the Wings carry a 3-1 lead into the third. Hopkins makes it interesting. Peterson's shot is blocked, but Jack Rainier is there to bury it for a power play goal, and the Royals are within 4-2. It's all Wings from there. Joe Campion sneaks a shot through traffic from the point for his first goal of the season to make it 4-2 AC. The Wings go on to beat Hopkins 6-2.